All right, so this is unit 1, homework 4. We should have been working on the majority of it yesterday. I'm gonna go over these last two just to warm up today because we are gonna continue to use order of operations. Kaden, what's up?
Is this a new packet?
It is right here. You need it. So number 11, I don't notice any parentheses, but we know that our grouping symbols could be our fraction bar too. So we have to do everything on the top. We have to do everything on the bottom, and then we have to do top divided by the bottom. So when we're looking at the top, I have 13 plus 7 to the second power divided by 7. What do I have to do first? I don't have any parentheses, but I do have exponents. So this is not 7 times 2, right? It's 2 factors of 7. What's 7 times 7?
49.
49. So I have 13 plus 49 divided by 7. So what do I need to do next?
Do the division.
The division. 49 divided by 7
Equals 7.
is 7. We just multiplied by 7. So now I have 13 plus 7, which is what? 20. So this is my top. I've figured out my top. Now I've got to figure out my bottom. I have 9 minus 20 divided by 4 minus 16. So what do I have to do first? Division. What's 20 divided by 4? 5. So I'm going to rewrite it 9 minus 5 minus 16. You could think of it, you could either bring down that negative or you think negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5. So either way, that 5 is negative, right? So left to right now, what's 9 minus 5?
That equals 4.
4 minus 16.
Negative 12.
Negative 12. So this was the goofy one where we end up with a fraction. What can I divide both 20 and 12 by?
6. No.
No, not 6. I could do 2. I could also do 4. So 20 divided by 4 is 5.
5.
Negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. So negative 5/3 would have been your most simplified answer. So now, number 12, I have to figure out the absolute value of negative 16, take the opposite of it. Then I have dividing by, I've got a top and a bottom still. So let's look at what's in parentheses. 3 to the second power is 2 factors of 3. So what's 3 times 3? 9. So 9 minus 4 is what?
9 minus 4?
Yep,
5.
5. How about 5 minus 10? Negative 5. So I have 5 divided by negative 5, which is what? Anybody know? What's 5 divided by 5? 1. And is it positive or negative? Negative. So I have the opposite of, what is the absolute value of negative 16? 16. So I have the opposite of 16 divided by the opposite of 1, or negative 16 divided by negative 1. What's 16 divided by 1? All of it, right? If I have 16 pieces of candy and I'm sharing it with one person, that one person gets 16 pieces of candy. And is it positive or negative? My signs are the same, so my answer is positive. All right. So that is number 12. All right. Today we're switching gears just a little bit. We're adding in some letters here.
Hi, Lacey K.
Can you please stop?
I'm sorry. Alright,
So algebraic expressions. An algebraic expression is a mathematical phrase made up of numbers and variables. Variables are letters. They're unknown. We don't know what they are until we do. So an algebraic expression is a mathematical phrase made up of numbers and variables. Those variables will be represented by letters. Our substitution property is if A equals B, then A may be replaced
A maybe,
for B in any expression. That's kind of wordy. If A equals B, then A may be replaced for B in any expression. So we're going to be replacing things, substituting things.
I wrote this down.
All right, so to evaluate an expression with variable replacements, are you ready? We have to substitute the variables with their given values. Here's the most important thing to remember. Star in it. Each time you substitute a variable with a number, put parentheses around the number. Because when we have a number next to a letter, it tells us we're multiplying those two things. So we have to put parentheses around the number. Kaden, you doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. After we've substituted the variable with a number, we're just going to follow there's 3 words here, order of operations, which we've been going over to evaluate. Okay. So here we go. We're substituting the variables with their given values. It's telling us what A equals, what B equals, and what C equals. But each time we substitute a variable with a number, we have to put parentheses around the number. What I like to do is if I see a letter, I'm putting parentheses here because I'm going to put a number inside it. If I see a letter, I'm putting parentheses here because I'm going to put a number inside it. This is raised to the second power, so I need to include that. Then I have plus, and then I have another letter. So I'm rewriting it with parentheses, and then I'm going to put what those letters equal. So first I have an A. So what am I putting in this first parenthesis? 2, because A equals 2. You see where I'm seeing that? It says if A equals 2. What am I putting in place of this B? 4. And in place of the C, 7. So we're starting off pretty simply. In this case, our parentheses don't have operations in them. So we don't have to do anything with our parentheses yet, but we do need to do our exponents. What's 4 to the second power?
16.
2 factors of 4, good. So I have 16 times this 2 plus 7. What do I do next?
16 times 2.
Which is?
32.
32 plus 7 equals?
39.
Excellent.
Oh.
Now here's our next example. We're rewriting the problem with parentheses in place of our letters. This time we only have one letter. X is equal to what? Careful. -2. So it says if X equals -2. What do I do first? -2 times itself, right? Because I have to deal with my exponent. So what's -2 times -2? No. Just 4. Yep. When our signs are the same, we find the sum. All right, so now we have 2 multiplications that we need to take care of. What's 3 times 4? 12. What's -4 times -2? 8. So would you say this is positive? 8, so we have to put a plus there. 20. So those weren't so bad, but they're going to get a little bit more difficult for sure. So if we can follow the pattern and we can keep pressing on, we're just plugging and chugging. So we're rewriting the problem with parentheses, and then we're putting what we need to into the parentheses. What am I putting in for A? 3. And for B, I'm putting in -4. So I've got to deal with my exponents first. 3 times 3 is 9, right? -4 times -4 is 16, and I've got this subtraction here. What's 9 times -4? My signs are different, so it's negative. We're multiplying. So 36, right? Remember our 9 rule? If we put our 4th finger down, on the left side of the down finger is your 10, so 30, and on the right is your 1, 6. -36 minus 16. Our signs are the same, or we're thinking we're getting more negative. We're going further left. So we're finding the sum. 6 and 6 makes 12. Carry the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -52. Gotta keep going. Don't stop. Put parentheses in place of your letters. This looks very similar, but this time our A and B are different, right? So this time A is 4 and B is -7. Four squared, we know by now. 4 times 4 is 16. I'm going to want to use my planner for this one. And -7 times -7 is 49. 16 times 7. Not too far. 112. And it's negative. So I'm getting more negative, right? When I subtract, I go to the left, so I'm getting more negative. 2 and 9 is 11. Carry the 1, 5, 6, 10, excuse me, and 100. So negative 161. Don't stop. Keep going. Rewrite the problem with parentheses in place of your letters. In place of my y, be careful because they put the y in our expression first. We have a 2. So I'm putting that there and at the end here. And in place of my x, I'm putting this negative 4. So we have to be careful with our signs. 2 squared is 4, but I have a negative sign in front of it, so I have negative 4. Now I'm multiplying. What's negative 3 times negative 4? Positive 12, right? Times 2 is 24. Plus negative 4. No. No. My signs are different, so I'm finding the difference. 24 minus 4 is 20. Or think 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4 positive plus 20 more leaves us with 20. All right, don't stop, right? Rewrite the problem with parentheses in place of your letters. Oh, fractions. How rude. So negative 12 is going in place of my y. 5, 6 is going in place of my 3. Where? Negative 12 times negative 12.
That'd be 144.
144 and the opposite of that, right? All right, here we go. We have to multiply all of these things. This is like 3 over 1. So if I take a factor of 3 out of the top, I'm left with 1, and a 3 out of the bottom, I have 2 down here. This is like negative 12 over 1. If I take a factor of 2 out of this top, I've got negative 6, and this is 1. So I'm left with 5 times, so negative 1 times 5 is negative 5 times negative 6 is actually going to be positive 30. That's kind of ugly. Or the opposite of a negative 30, which is positive. So our signs are different. What's 144 minus 30? 14, yep. Negative 114, at least he's thinking. All right. Don't stop, right? Rewrite. So put 3, 4, 3, 4. Can we stop being on time? That'd be great.
I love you.
So we've got to find the square of 3 and 4. What's 3 times 3? 9, not 3 times 2, 3 times itself, right? 2 factors of 3, and 4 times 4. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So what is 9 plus 16? 25 divided by negative 1 gives us negative 25. All right. I'm going to have you guys try the evens on this side. So we've got something squared minus 2. I've got parentheses inside my parentheses now. Minus something to the third power. That's a lot of parentheses, right? In place of my x, I'm putting a 2. I have an x right here and an x right here. In place of my y, careful, I'm putting a negative 2. In place of my z, I'm putting a negative 3. Oh boy. Inside my parentheses, 2 minus a negative 2. Keep, change. What's 2 plus 2? 4. Now, can we do our exponents? 2 times 2 here is also 4. This one's a little tricky because we have negative 3 to the third power. So we have 3 factors of negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9 times negative 3 is
27.
negative 27. So I have the opposite of negative 27. So I have to keep, change here. I have to do my multiplication before I can add and subtract from left to right. So what's 2 times 4? 8. 4 minus 8 plus 27. Well, what's 4 minus 8? Negative 4, right? Plus 27. The difference is 23. All right, so you're going to do that same one, but with different numbers. So watch for the tricks. 11. No, not quite. Rewriting. Remember, don't stop. Start with rewriting the problem. So A is negative 2. B is 3. C is negative 3. All right, we have to start with our exponent. What's negative 2 times negative 2? 4, but then we have the opposite of 4. We have that minus in front of our 4. Now we've got to multiply. What's 2 times 3? 6. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. But if you notice, we have that really times that negative 2. We got to switch. That's where it gets tricky. So when we had a minus a negative 18, we had to add there. What is the absolute value of negative 3? 3, right? And then we bring down that minus. So now we're adding and subtracting from left to right. What's negative 4 plus 18? 14. 14 minus 3, that's straightforward too. So that's not too bad. So you have 3 problems At least if you've got those figured out, you can start on the homework, but tomorrow we're gonna be reviewing these and finishing up that homework. We'll probably continue with this one more day on Monday, quiz Tuesday, NWEA Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so we'll be finishing the packet up tomorrow. Goodbye.